Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We're continuing our little theme of CSS glow effects. We've got a nice little page title or little hero title for you here. As you can see, we've got three little glowing effects going on there. That's really eye-catching. That's going to get people's attention pretty quickly. Really easy to do. For this code today, it's been kindly supplied by Vikram Sanser. I apologise if I got your name wrong there. Really easy to do with the Divi code module, so let's get started. And of course, this being HTML and CSS will work with any site that you can add HTML and CSS to. Okay, well I'm going to enable my Visual Builder. Alright, once enabled, I'm going to go down. Let's create a new section. Little blue button to add a new section. I'm going to make it a regular section. I'm going to put one column in there, and I'm going to insert a code module that we can put our code in today. I'm just going to hold it right there. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to delete the section that we already had up here. Okay, well let's go over to our CodePen page here, and we'll take the HTML. I'm going to go from the top all the way down to the bottom. Control C to copy. Back to our site. Let's go into our little code module here. Dark tab for the module, green tab for a row, blue tab for a section. And we'll paste the code into our little code module here in the code box, funnily enough. And there it is. That doesn't look too exciting, but it's going to do what we want to do once we add the CSS to it. Okay, we'll go back to our page here. And if we look at this, let's go back up to the top. The only thing we don't really need here is the body, because we've got our own body and we can put our font styles in with our default font styles. They're using Illumari there. I mean, if you want to, you can leave that in there, but I'm going to remove that bit. Everything else I'm going to keep. So Control A to select all, Control C to copy. Back to our page. Now, because this is actually CSS, we need to wrap it in style tags. So if I bring this up here, it's the only thing I can't put down there because of the pointy brackets. I can't put that under the video because YouTube won't allow it. So it's a left pointy bracket, the word style, S-T-Y-L-E, and a right pointy bracket, and that'll put a closing one on the end, and the only difference there is the / before style. All closing divs or closing tags have a /. You always have an opening tag, then a closing tag. In between the two styles there, we can paste that CSS code that we've just copied. As you can see, we've now got our code in there, and we've got our glowing buttons and everything like that. I'm going to go up, I'm going to delete that body code. Let's drag it up to the top because it's going to be fairly near the top. Here we are. Here's the body. The great thing about CSS, it can't break your site, so if something doesn't work for you, you can delete it and it'll go back to how it was after. The only thing that's really changed there is the font style, which I'm fine with. If you want to leave it in there, like I say, that's fine. Okay, before we go any further, I'm going to put a background in there so it kind of stands out a bit better. Then we'll edit it and show you how to change the text and select which of these effects you want to use. So let's just close this for a moment. I'll go into the section, which is where I'm going to put my background, make things stand out a bit better. Go up to the top, blue tab, little cog right there. I'm going to put an image in. Guess I'll use the same one as before. And just to make it a little more interesting, I'm going to add a background gradient to it as well. So next to, you've got color, gradient, image or video. Next to image right there, we've got gradient. I'm going to add a background gradient. I'm going to leave it those colors. You can select what colors you like here. Make it radial or linear. gradient direction. I'm just going to leave mine exactly like that. I'm going to go back into my image. I'm going to roll down. And I'm going to select multiply. That works nicely for me. We can see everything well there, but I don't want it quite as tall as that. So let's go in and edit our code and make it what we want now. So I can get out of the section. We'll go back into our little module. And if we look at our code at the top here, here's our words. So you can change them to say whatever it is you want. Just change the words here. Don't lop off the pointy tags from the H1 classes there. Just like I say, replace it with whatever it is you need yours to say. And if we roll down, here's the wrapper, which is the whole thing. And it's saying it wants to be 100 of the viewable height, which is basically the size of our screen here, which is making it as deep as it is. So I want mine maybe 30 or 20%. Let's take it to 40 and I'll take it down. You should see the difference. If I change that 100 to 40 VH or viewable height, that's a bit more like it. I quite like that actually. You can make it smaller, obviously. Use it for a page headline by making it 20 or something like that. I like a bit more than that because it shows off more of that image at the bottom. Yeah, I think that 30 is fine, right there. Obviously, you change this, the height, underneath the wrapper class, to whatever you want. Remember, viewable height is a viewable height of whatever screen it's on, so that's going to be responsive. Alright, if you decide, if we look back at our HTML, this is all HTML before our style tags here. If you decide you want them all to be, say, number 2, that effect, rather than we've got 3 different effects here, just change the class name here. We've got 3 divs, one called div1, one called div2, and one called div3. Now div2 is number 2, 1, 3, obviously. If you all want them all to be number 2, just change the number on the end to a 2 instead of a 1. As you can see, that one and that one are the same now, and do the same for the last one if that's what you want. Or obviously you can change them to 1 or 3 if you want them to be different. And if you want them to be just 1 line rather than 3, you can delete 2 of these divs. Now here's an opening div, there's a closing div. So that's 1 right there. Opening div, closing div. 2 right there, and 3. So I'm going to delete 2 and 3. Opening div, closing div, opening div, closing divider, and that's it, the one for our actual wrapper right there. So let's delete what we've got there, and we're left with 1. And you can have, if you want, just have the whole title in 1 block. And again, if you want to change it to one of the other styles, it was div 1 or 3, wasn't it? So we can either change it to a 1, you get that effect, or a 3. And there's the other effect. I'm going to leave it on that 2. In fact, I'm going to put it back how it was. So Control Z to undo. Keep undoing until I get my 3 divs back. There we go, and let's change them to 1, 2, and 3 again. And there we go, animated news headline there. That is very striking, really easy to do. And like I say, thanks goes again to Vikram for this code. And I'll put this URL down below the video. Follow along and do it how you wish. Let's save this, make sure it's going to work on the front end. Save our page changes. And exit the Visual Builder. And there we go. We've got our nice little animated headline title up there. And there we go. We've got our nice headline animated title up there. Really nice little feature to have on your site. Like I say, really easy to do. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.